Welcome to the October meeting of the Commission on Aging. Thanks everyone for being here. Our first item on the agenda is the discussion and approval of our September minutes. Does anybody have any suggested modifications or questions about them? Peter, I see your light on. You've got some questions or modifications?
No, I'm just getting ready to vote.
Perfect, thank you. Peter, can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Can I have a second? Thank you, Jim. I'll take that.
Second.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. So as a result, those minutes are approved. Moving forward, Beth Paris, I'll let you turn your mic on and I'll turn my mic off.
Okie doke. Well, this has been an exceptionally busy month. We are having a actual outdoor event today. Thank goodness the police have allowed us to use their tent for our entertainer, but we're having our Oktoberfest program using 24 spaces in the parking lot. One of the good things about having this event is it's teaching us what we can do in the spring and probably summer if we need to do more outdoor events, especially utilizing the aspect that they're not open on a Friday, and that's going to be, I think, the place where we hold a lot of things if we don't get to open in a quote normal way. We have done a tremendous amount. Our new program specialist has gotten us online virtually. She's also vetted all of our instructors to find out who would be willing to come in for face-to-face programming and who wants to stay virtual. I'm working with actually have a meeting tomorrow with Public Works and the town administrator for what we could do as an incremental opening in November. It's really very small potatoes as we're going up. I heard yesterday we're at 3% and the numbers are climbing, but it would be things like bringing like 3 to 7 people in for a focus group or 3 to 7 people in for a specific activity. Just for those folks that we know are truly socially isolated at this particular point and are kind of really desperate to get out. We would not be opening, unlocking the door. It would be that we were doing this by reservation, and we would open the door for only those folks that were registered. We probably wouldn't be, it would be within a 2-hour period of time. So we're not looking at a 9 to 3 opening even for a small group of people at this point, because the protocols for cleaning are so major that either we ourselves as staff are going to have to take care of that when our custodians can't, just be here for even those little that we're looking at doing. There are no senior centers that are open right now. Most are looking at opening in January. Monroe is doing the small group thing, but they're tending to get the same 5 or 6 people in. They're the only one in our 14 town area that is doing anything in person at this particular point. We are all doing things by appointment though, and I'm going to see the town website gets changed because it says senior center closed, and we're far from closed because we are seeing people every day for lunch, and we've got about 85 different people using the lunch program. No more than usually 35, 40 a day, but 85 different people, and that number is growing now that our constant contact email blasts have been going out every week, and we're reaching out further to folks so that they get to know what we're doing. One of the stumbling blocks we're finding, and we're kind of trying to cultivate a group of volunteers to help us with it, is that people don't know how to go to meeting. Our town doesn't use Zoom. But we still have to teach people how to download it on their iPad or on their regular computer or laptop. And once that gets going, it's relatively easy to have programs. We have set up like coffee and conversations. I'm going to do brain teasers and twisters. There's a laugh program we're going to do virtually. And we have to get more people on before I start putting instructors on that want to do exercise and that kind of virtual. Also, because we have been meeting with all of the 14 senior centers at least once a week, We are able to recommend their Zooms as well, things that they're doing, and folks just will sign in with us and we'll send the information to, say, Westport, if they're a program that you're interested in, that Westport's having, or Greenwich is having, or Trumbull is having. We're not charging each other. We're doing this as a collaborative because we all have the mission to try to keep people from being socially isolated. So we're doing a big share. And among the big share, we're also sharing our ideas for our drive-throughs. For instance, on Friday, October 30th, we're going to have a mask car raid so that people come through with decorating their face masks or their cars, either one. And we have goodie bags that are all comfort items that are in there. There's socks, there's lip balm, there's all things to make. There's a little chocolate too, because let's face it, chocolate is comforting. But we're trying to get so that we can get more people out, and when we get them out, to talk to them a little bit as they go through about what their needs are technologically. The other piece of it is the folks that have no technology. They tend to be the 88 and up, because believe it or not, even the 85ers are doing pretty good there. So we're looking at outreach programming for them, something fun that we might do. We're going to try to do a drive-through bingo kind of thing that people pick up the cards and the daubers. And we're going to do one telephonically for the folks that can't join us technologically on the computer. We're looking at other kinds of craft kits and things for those folks as well. So there's a tremendous amount of outreach that we're doing from the standpoint of trying to get people to know that there's something virtually going on that they can participate in. And I think when everybody starts to see everyone, that's going to help a great deal as well. But people do need to learn how to use the technology. So again, we have about 6 folks that are enlisted that are going to help us to teach that. It's very surprising how many people want to come in. There are, I would say, by now, over 100 people. They don't care. They just want to come in. They want to be with other people. So, as much as we are, concerned about that, we can't do it in a way that we would have more than 25 people on the first floor anyway. And we would have most of our rooms locked. We would only have the rooms open that we were using so people couldn't traverse. We have to keep the chef safe. So the cafe is locked. She's almost a prisoner. She's not allowed out of there when the folks are doing the drive-through, or if anybody else is in the building, because if we lose her, we lose a large amount of what we're doing. I will tell you that the meal program, because she expanded it, it's more like a dinner and a dessert every day. And so many people that are participating in it because of the value of it. First of all, you're never going to shop for $20 a week and get the meals that she's preparing. But as the numbers go up, I think people are going to be, again, concerned about shopping. So the more that we get the word out, and she's willing to do 150 meals a day. So, and she's ready and able to do that. She's not having trouble with shopping because she's doing the majority of it at Restaurant Depot. It's just a little bit of a different thing. Just if we are recording on channel 79, we're asking people to call in the week before, Tuesday or Wednesday, the week before for the next week. So this way we make sure that we have an ample supply, because Judy shops every Tuesday, and that we don't turn anybody away. So it's a little bit different. There's no day of calling. Though if somebody wanted to start and they wanted to ask if there was more food that day, we would definitely do that, and then give the instruction again about how we're doing it a little bit differently. So we're keeping on. It is very interesting to see at this particular point in time, really, that people need to know that things are not going to be back to normal opening anywhere until there's a vaccine, I believe, at this particular point, from everything that I see. And most of the senior centers across the state, I meet with them once a month. It's 169 of us get together, believe it or not, on a 7-page Zoom that we keep Zooming at each other. Most of the state, 3/4 of the state right now are not looking at doing anything until January at all. All of the rest of folks are doing everything by appointment. And, some senior centers have a wider reach of what they do for services too. So, their human services is coupled with them as well. So never stop doing things by appointment. Which is a good thing and a well-needed thing to do. So we're going to just try to relieve a little bit of those folks that really don't have anything and are really kind of seeking to be with us. I've been meeting with people outdoors ever since we started this. And so we do have a fair amount of people that are coming on a regular basis now by appointment because there's so many of them by car that I sit and I talk with. So whatever it takes, we're going to do. And if you hear something out there that's a great idea that you want to share with us, please do so. We're hoping to get that. Matter of fact, I don't know if Peter, if you're going to mention this, but the state is with Aarp going to do a Wonderful Life on, I think it's on the Friday, December 18th. And all of the senior centers that participate in it, all of our staff is going to be able to say hello to all of our members that sign up for it. So I already registered for it. And it shows the spirit of what the state of Connecticut, has really been on board for their seniors. And there's going to be a musical portion of it. There's going to be a big game portion of it. It's really going to be a nice event. And, it'll make people feel like they don't feel they're cared for by the entire state. And I have to say, I'm proud of all of these senior center directors of how the angst has been and how much the creativity and the imagination to give services. And so it's a good thing to see. We need to look at the goodness because goodness is contagious too. We got to get the goodness to go viral and the well wishes for each other and keep giving each other hope, because for some people, hope is very difficult to come by. So those of us who can spread that hope need to be spreading it. So.
Amen. Thank you, Beth. Any questions for Beth? Hearing none, we'll move on to Allie for our Human Services report.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. So the renters rebate program ended on September 30th, and Diane submitted 40 applications, a total of $22,252 in grants to our clients. The grants were decreased again this year by the state by 8% due to funding. That's kind of consistent with what it's been the last few years in terms of the cuts. Those checks are going out to the clients shortly, so that's nice. They get an actual check made out to them that they can use it for whatever they want. Some people get up to $750, so they look forward to that. We're still plugging away with energy assistance, and that goes on until the spring. Our oil clients, which most of our seniors, well, that's not true, but most of our oil clients happen to be seniors. Not all of our seniors are oil clients, but anyway, they'll start being eligible once they're approved to get deliveries on November 1st. Operation Fuel keeps going as well. Medicare open enrollment started October 15th and goes through December 7th every year. We are not doing in-person appointments with clients, but we are figuring it out as we go. So what we're doing for the most part is having clients either email or mail, regular snail mail, or give it to us over the phone, their medications. Then I'll input it into the Medicare program, and then we'll set up another appointment to review it. So we can mail them the hard copy so they have it in front of them. Anyway, so we are just in the beginning stages of that, and it's going to be extra challenging this year because of the limitations, but we'll make it happen. What else? Let's see. We're beginning our Thanksgiving and holiday program planning. In the past for the seniors, we've had, people donate gifts, but mostly like gift baskets, and they're usually very, very elaborate and very generous. I think we're gonna have to limit that this year, but we still want to do the program. So we're gonna work with the volunteers, maybe to do just simply gift cards and maybe a nice note or a handmade card, whatever it is that they want, but we're gonna limit the actual objects that we're, giving back and forth between people and donors. Same with families, but, one other thing that I did not put in my report, but I just remembered is with all the returning residents to the Royal, we mailed cards. So there were 15 of them who returned. We mailed a welcome home card and a small gift card to Stop and Shop. We were thinking about giving plants. We thought, you know what, we'll give them a small gift card as a kind of token of, our welcome home. And they're all very, of course, appreciative of that. After 10 years, Beth is stepped down from her role on the SWACA Advisory Council, and now I am stepping into her shoes. So that was a 2-year term and hard shoes to fill, but I'll do my best, Beth. And that's about it. I think so, yeah.
Thank you, Ally. Any questions for Ally? Hearing none or seeing none, I will move on to our next item on the agenda, which is Jim Metzger is going to be stepping down. Sorry, Peter, go ahead.
Joe, I do have one for Ollie. Are you planning to do the Christmas gift program? And if so, you might want to announce it early, like for myself, for example, so we can go out and do our shopping. It would be good to know, and I would hope you would do it, because again, I think it would really help some people that are quite isolated and very much in need.
Absolutely. Diane, Cynthia, and I are going to meet tomorrow because the time is slipping away here. It's already mid-October, but we do want to get this out by next week. And I was just saying, I think we're going to limit in terms of like the actual shopping that donors are going to do, but maybe just keep it simple. Maybe like just a plant, like a small poinsettia or something, and a gift card and a card, instead of having multiple items. For many reasons, besides the fact that we don't want, the items going back and forth between people, but also having people drop them off and having to come into the building. So we are going to do it, Peter. We will email you next week is the long answer to your question, but we definitely are going to do it because that absolutely, especially for our seniors, it really brightens their holidays because, the seniors that we do give gifts to are usually lonely, lacking support, or struggling financially, medically, whatever. So you'll hear from us next week, Peter. Thank you. And Joe and Mary and Francis, I think you did a bunch of you. I don't want to leave anyone out. And Jerry, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ally. I will try to slow down a little bit with the Zoom and everybody unmuting their microphones. Are there any other questions for Ally? Okay, I'm not seeing any or hearing any. So now I will move on to Jim. Jim is planning on stepping down from the Blight board. Jim, do you just want to give us a quick heads up on that?
Yeah, thanks, Peter. My plan is that our November meeting will be my last meeting. So we will need a replacement from this commission to replace me. I'm the last of the original members, so I've been on it quite a while now, and I'm currently chairman. So we will also be voting for a new chairman, but that's pretty much it, Joe.
Thank you very much. So now looking among my group, is there a volunteer to serve as Jim's successor? I see Peter's green light coming on. What do we got, Peter?
Yeah, I'd be glad to do it. I take it, Jim, it's not really overwhelming amount of work, is it? Maybe it is.
No comment. No comment.
That's scary.
Can't get my, there it is. I couldn't get my microphone off mute. The work has grown a bit, and most of the interaction has to do with working with the lawyers and with Ally's group. But the people we have brought onto the commission, onto the board, are very, very qualified. So if you're not chairman, it's not that big of a time commitment. That's the way I would put it. And but it meets once a month, and we try to keep the meetings very quick. Basically what happens is that the Blight review officer reviews the status. We don't go through every property in town. We only go through those that have been actioned or have completed action. So it's not a huge time commitment.
Okay.
You're still
I
good,
just want to
Peter?
say thank you to Jim too, because you've done an amazing job, your devotion from the beginning. And I'm sad that you're leaving, but I guess you can watch us from home and just be happy that you're not involved. Just kidding. But honestly, thank you, Jim. You've been an amazing resource for everybody.
Thank you, Ally.
Okay, and I'll circle back to Peter once more to give him one more chance. Peter, you're still good?
I am.
Awesome. Can I have a motion to approve Peter as our Jim Metzger replacement, although he's got some big shoes to fill on the Blight board?
I'll make a motion, Joe. It's Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer. Second? Mary, thank you. Francis, thank you. All in favor? All right. Great. So, Peter, what I'll do is be in touch with Jamie, advising that at such time as Jim steps down, that we're planning on putting you on, and I'll coordinate with Jim as well to make sure that he's cool with the timing on that as to when that email goes. But I did want to, and thanks to Jim for giving us the heads up, I did want to have somebody immediately in place because the timing could have been that, you know, Jim steps down in November and it's not on our board and we're missing somebody in December. So it'd be very good to have Peter in that spot when Jim does step down after the November meeting. So thank you. And again, thanks, Jim, for all your great work. The testimony from Ally is such that we know what a fantastic job you did. Welcome.
Welcome, Peter. We're glad to have you, Peter.
Okay, I look forward to working with you.
And I can't think of a better successor than Peter, certainly one of our great advocates for seniors in town and statewide. So as a result, he will make sure that our seniors get good representation on that board. So thank you, Peter.
Yep.
Moving forward, any old business that we should be discussing?
I have some updates, Joe.
Go for it, Peter. You're up.
Let me start with a voter update. Last night I was in town hall for voter poll training, and I got to speak to both registrars of voters. So let me give you a quick update of what's going on and where we are. 10,000 absentee ballots were mailed out, and about 5,000 have been returned. And it's amazing. And that drop box is being full. It's being emptied every day. The ballots go into the town safe. And there will be a team of 20 counters and a moderator, and they will begin counting those ballots on election day. And so that all is all prepared. All the ballots will be open. All the polling sites will be open. Last presidential election, we had 60 workers. This year, we will have 113. So we'll be almost double. And all safety protocols will be put in place. And so everyone could be encouraged to come and vote safely. There'll be curbside voting. So if you can't get out of your car or don't want to, they will take care of you. Everybody that wants to vote in this town is encouraged to vote. And that's about it. Does anybody have any questions on any of that? We good? Okay. So again, it looks like it's going to be a very, very active registration, and they're thinking perhaps 85% of the town will end up voting, which would be marvelous. So again, we need to encourage that. The second thing I want to talk about is the Darien Library. The Darien Library had its annual meeting last Saturday. It's online if you'd like to see it. Just go to darienlibrary.org / annual report, annual meeting. The annual report is out. Here's the annual report. That too is online. It's really interesting. I think I'd encourage folks to look at it. Even in this COVID year, they've had 229,000 visitors. So down substantially from the 500,000 in the previous year. The library is open. The library is open. It's open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and it's now open Saturday, 1 to 5. Again, you can go on the website. There are limited services, but again, it's quite important for seniors because, again, you can get your notarization done. They will pick up and deliver books and videos to your home and of course, there's no late fees. They have audiobooks in the library. The reference desks are open and they are not at a full turnout yet, so they are encouraging folks to visit. The cafe is open. If you haven't been over there yet, they have tents outside, so you can sit outside. I see a lot of people going over there just to use their internet services. So it is an active place and completely under the state guidelines for public spaces. And the point is, it's a resource that's there. If you want to get out, there's an opportunity to get out. And again, they have sort resources, very important for older adults. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay. At home in Darien, I don't think Gina is on the phone today, but again, two important things and very, very current. The first is fall leaf raking and grown snow shoveling when it comes. We're in the process of coordinating the leaf raking and snow shoveling from all public sidewalks in the town. If folks are interested in leaf raking services, all they have to do is call the office, 203-655-2227. That's 203-655-2227. And the flip side of that is we're looking for volunteers to do leaf raking and snow shoveling. So again, if you have any affiliations with youth groups, sports teams, houses of worship, to organize and volunteer, even large families. I know of a couple large families last year where the families volunteered to do leaf raking, and a half dozen kids from one family showed up and leaf raked 3 or 4 houses. So again, it's an important service and it's here for us and we ought to take advantage of it. And there's no charge to any of that, of course. And finally, AARP, and I'm not going to go through the litany of events, but again, just go to the AARP Connecticut website, key in events, and you'll see them. I'll give you just a couple of quick examples. On November 17th, they're doing a workshop for people age 50 and over, strategies for successful job searching in this time. They have on October 28th a virtual tour of the Mystic Aquarium. They have Fraud Watch meetings on 10/26 and 10/29. Of course, all this available, all on Zoom, all free, and Living Well seminar on October 28th, and it just goes on and on. So again, avail yourselves of it. You don't have to be an AARP member to participate. These are free. These are out there, and take advantage of it. I think that's it, Joe.
Awesome. Thank you, Peter. Fantastic update. Anybody have any questions for Peter relating to AARP, the library, and or at home in Darien? Hearing none. I will circle back for old business, sadly, on COVID-19. As you may have seen, Connecticut now, ironically, is one of the states that's kind of banned from travel from New York, believe it or not, because we have now exceeded the limit. So it's that much more important for everybody to recognize that we are now effectively the same kind of hotspot as Florida, North Carolina, or all these other places that people have talked about based upon our own statistics. So the governor is going to redo our statistics to try to make it clear as to, quite frankly, hotter hotspots than Connecticut. So for our seniors and for those who are really at risk, we just have to be that much more careful, especially relating to Halloween and other things that are coming up, because of the fact that it is typically seemingly spread indoors more than outdoors, but nevertheless, it is an issue if you think about kids coming to your door and you opening your door and kids yelling into your house, trick or treat, it may not exactly be a great thing for our seniors. So our seniors may wish to think about the question of how do we do this safely, making sure that the kids who are coming to your door are masked, who get candy outside. Perhaps, of course, then always the question is, do you leave candy outside? Well, sadly, as an 8-year-old, if somebody left candy outside somebody's house, I know what I would do with that candy. So being the evil kid that I was, so that's always a challenge. But nevertheless, the reality is that, we are moving into a pretty dangerous time for our seniors and other people who have underlying health concerns, because we're moving more indoors. We've got Thanksgiving, we've got trick or treating, and I know you guys are thinking through these issues as well as I am. Classic example, my father-in-law is 88, he's in Massachusetts, and my 2 boys are coming back from law school and college, and I'm thinking, we really can't be celebrating Thanksgiving with my father-in-law this year because we could kill him. I mean, at the end of the day, and that's the kind of thing that's going to be really challenging for all of us to make these kinds of decisions relating to how do you do things safely. In this case, he lives in Massachusetts. I guess you could do an outdoor day, but given that sleet could happen on Thanksgiving Day in Massachusetts, I'm not sure that'd be a great place to eat turkey. But at the end of the day, we all need to be really careful in thinking about these issues going forward, because the third wave is definitely happening. And so we just have to be that much more careful as seniors, or those who care for seniors, or those who are family members of seniors, and quite frankly, for anybody else who's out there. I won't overshare, but basically, even for the young, I know a good friend of mine in his 30s, okay, he got it in July. He still has no sense of taste or smell, okay? He's not going to die from this disease, but boy, his meals, his wine, his whatever have no taste. So, I mean, this is a really real thing. Even if it doesn't kill you, it can have a significant impact on your life in ways that, I don't think people are quite focused on it. We just need to make sure we maintain safety to try to keep the numbers down as much as possible until we get a safe and effective vaccine. And as Beth noted, that's what really is going to be our deadline at this point, because the reality is that how would you possibly know, without the vaccine, how you can stay safe? And it may be quite some time before we stop wearing masks. We'll just have to see. Hopefully it won't be. Hopefully sometime in 2021 things will return to normal, but it's going to take some time. So certainly our November meeting and undoubtedly our December meeting are also going to be virtual. I can't imagine, inviting you folks into the town hall. For town hall employees' reasons, they wouldn't be too happy about that. And for our reasons, we would be smart to keep ourselves at a distance. And these meetings seem to work pretty nicely. At the end of the day, we're getting the information out there. TV 79 is going to broadcast this, so folks can learn what's going on in town from a senior perspective. So I think we'll keep doing it on this basis. Now that I've rambled for a while, anybody have any other old business? Hearing none. Does anybody have any new business? Looking around, hearing none, seeing all the microphones staying red, I will then ask, can I have a motion to close this meeting of the October Commission on Aging?
So moved.
Thank you, Peter. A second? I'll take a wave.
Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thanks, friends. I appreciate it. Okay, guys, I will look forward to seeing you online again in November. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Bye-bye.